In 1961, India did the unthinkable. It invaded European colony to reclaim its sovereign land, a tiny sliver of land on the Indian western coast, held by Portugal for 451 years. But when the world's largest democracy marched 30,000 troops into Goa, why did no one stop them? Not NATO, not the UN, not even the Cold War's superpowers. Today, we unravel the Cold War drama behind history's most awkward decolonization. There were domestic headlines screaming in Indian newspapers, "How long will Portugal insult India?" Satyagraha activists, inspired by Gandhi, were facing Portuguese bullets. Prime Minister Nehru, the man who preached Gandhi's nonviolence, faced a crisis. His own people were marching into Goa unarmed, only to be shot by Portuguese troops. Now let's look into the global reaction to understand India's actions. The post-colonial paradox. After World War II, the world agreed invading neighbors for land was taboo, but European powers clung to colonies under new labels as overseas provinces. Portugal took this to extremes, claiming Goa wasn't a colony but actual Portugal, despite being 4,000 miles from Lisbon. Portugal dictator Antonio Salazar wasn't just clinging to Goa. He was gaslighting the globe and declared Goa as Goa a Portugal, despite it being closer to Mumbai than Lisbon. To sell the lie, Portugal emphasized Goa has been part of Portuguese since 1510, longer than the US existed. While Portugal's dictator Salazar even threw a lavish party for Goa's 400th anniversary celebrations in 1950, which was more than the Goa's actual infrastructure. India's Prime Minister Nehru, the poster child of nonviolence, faced a crisis. Domestic pressure mounted as Portugal arrested Satyagraha protesters. But attacking NATO-aligned Portugal risked alienating the West during the Cold War. Portugal was NATO's founding member. Invading Goa risked turning India, the non-aligned moral superpower, into a Soviet pawn. But wait, the USSR saw an opportunity. Khrushchev whispered to Nehru, "We've got your back," while American envoys secretly told Nehru, "Make it quick before we have to look tough." Several things went in favor of India. In 1955, Portuguese troops opened fire on unarmed Indian protesters. Nehru was quick to grab this opportunity. He launched Operation Vijay, mobilizing 30,000 Indian troops against 3,000 Portuguese troops in 1961, December 18th, leading the 36-hour war. Later, one Portuguese soldier joked, "Our best weapon was the manual on how to surrender." Portuguese Governor Vasilo e Silva knew resistance was futile. His 3,000 troops faced tanks and aircraft, and within 36 hours, he surrendered drinking a café com leite. Later, he was court-martialed by Portuguese government, branding him a coward. Goans call him a hero who saved thousands' lives by deciding not to fight a futile war. The communist bloc cheered, and Khrushchev gifted Nehru a bear hug, while NATO condemned India mildly, whereas only Brazil, Portugal's cultural cousin, broke diplomatic ties with India. Afro-Asian nations provided overwhelming support at United Nations General Assembly. Soviet provided significant support to India by veto at UN Security Council, blocking the ceasefire resolutions. US Ambassador to India secretly advised Nehru to finish it fast before we have to react. This war is seen as the war that changed nothing and everything. Portugal only recognized Goa's annexation in 1974 after its Carnation Revolution, which overthrew the dictator regime and brought democracy in Portugal. However, this act of correcting sovereignty became the blueprint for many colonies. Indonesia became first after India to take back East Timor. Today, Goa is a tourist paradise, where Portuguese custard tarts meets Indian masala chai, showing a sweet end to a bitter history. Walk Goa's beaches now, and you'll find Portuguese coconut cake served with masala chai, colonial churches hosting Hindu weddings. Tourists snorkel over shipwrecks, as one local chef laughs saying, "We traded cannons for chili-popped vindaloo." So, sometimes history's messiest disputes end not with a bang, but with sunburned tourists and hybrid desserts. And finally, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button because colonialism's leftovers always make for awkward family reunion. Thank you for watching this video.